Super Bowl 60 is next Sunday. It'll be the New England Patriots taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And the question we asked before the break, when you look at the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks, when you look at that matchup for Super Bowl 60, does it make you think about the things that those teams do really well, that the Buccaneers do not, like, say, I don't know, play defense? Or does it make you think, man, the Buccaneers, first of all, really blew it this year, but second of all, they're kind of close? Do you think that the matchup in Super Bowl 60 is an example of how far away the Buccaneers are or how close the Buccaneers are? Because I will remind you, they beat the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, and they should have beaten the New England Patriots. They had the ball at the Patriots 27 at the end of the game, and they blew it. They should have won that football game.
I think it's a mix of both. I think it shows that they've got a toughness on this team, and it's why I believe in Baker Mayfield. They've got leadership on this team to win big games, but not enough throughout the season, clearly at the way it ended, where it actually gives me less hope. And the reason it gives me less hope is because, and I hate to say it, because it's beating a dead horse. Todd Bowles. It's Todd Bowles. I think the big difference in what we saw in the Patriots, and obviously you got to have the play on the field, but Mike Vrabel changed everything over there. McDonald changed everything for Seattle. That was a 10-win team last year that changed their quarterback, made the decision to change their quarterback. They were built enough to withstand it and win and put Darnold in the perfect position to have success. So coaching in this league, coaching in every league matters.
Yep.
Really, in the NFL, it matters from top to bottom, and this is a perfect example on both teams of why it matters. So for me, if you ask us, are we close? Does it make me think we're closer or are we further watching these two teams? Further, because Todd Bowles is still there on the sideline doing Todd Bowles things.
Yeah. Todd Bowles was on the sideline when they beat Seattle, though, and should have beaten the Patriots. I personally, and I don't think that they're one player away by any means. I think they're multiple players away. But I think I still believe, and some people, probably a lot of people, think I'm crazy. I still think the Bucs are close.
It's a 17-game season.
Yep.
And what Todd's problem has been throughout his head coaching career is can't finish. Can't finish the 17. He struggles to have his team get through, and I know injuries, and injuries are a part of every organization. So you got to learn how to withstand it. The 49ers did it. Teams do it all across the board.
The 49ers did it this year. But what did they do last year? They fell apart because of injuries when the Bucs made the playoffs. So you can, the Niners way better this year than the Bucs have been in a while. So I hate to make that argument. But at the same time, we've seen the Bucs go through injuries and withstand it. This year, they couldn't do it. And there was a lot of issues from Todd Bowles on down. And Baker Mayfield, I still believe, was a big part of those issues. So I think, it's easy to put it all on the head coach. And I think I've said since the season was over, probably deserved to be fired. So I hate to sit here and stick up for Todd Bowles, but I also hate to hear everybody put it all on Todd Bowles.
Do you think Vrabel's?
I think that's unfair.
Do you think Vrabel's a big part of New England's success?
Absolutely.
So if you can have someone like Vrabel be a big part of your team's success, do you think Todd Bowles is a big part of the Buccaneers'
I think he was a big part of them winning a Super Bowl.
As a defensive
5 years ago.
As a defensive 5 years ago as a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Whoop-de-doo.
Okay.
That was 5 years ago, man.
All right.
As a defensive
We've
seen head coaches.
Did you think they had a chance to go to the Super Bowl coming into this season? You did. We both did.
Yeah,
I think
they had a shot. Yeah, my expectations were they could make the Super Bowl. And they didn't make the playoffs.
They didn't. And I think, again, I would have had no issue if Todd Bowles was fired.
And you're still talking about Todd Bowles winning a championship, Super Bowl as defensive coordinator.
Because, again,
that matters nothing at the head coaching level. Matters nothing.
At the head coaching level, correct. But they were coming into this season, we all thought they were close, right? If Liam Cohen hadn't gone to Jacksonville in the middle of the night and the offensive line had stayed healthy, we're probably not having this conversation because it's not all about one man.
Nick Sirianni won a Super Bowl 2 years ago. And if the Eagles as a head coach, and if the Eagles have a bad year this year, you think he's on the hot seat?
Well, you know what? I think it's stupid if he is. Todd Bowles deserves to be on the hot seat. Nick Sirianni might be the most disrespected head coach I've seen in my lifetime, and I don't even like the guy. But for crying out loud, like, what else does he have to do?
Fix the issues in the locker room that haven't been fixed. That's part of your job.
Yeah, sure, but they were there last year when you won a Super Bowl, and the guy's gotten to 2 in a handful of years. Like, to me, you start blowing out coaches with a bunch of success, and you're going to be really unhappy sooner or later. Like, that's not Todd Bowles. That's the argument I'm making about Nick Sirianni. But regardless, I still think this team is close. And even if Todd Bowles isn't the guy to get them over the top, like, being close doesn't mean you're going to win it next year, right? How many times was Arizona close until they finally, now they didn't win the Super Bowl, but until they finally got there?
But if
it may take getting rid of Todd Bowles. It may take a new head coach, but I still think this team is closer than they are farther away.
If it can be the difference, then you do it. If you think Mike Vrabel was a big part of what New England has done and the success, because they went from a team that had the last 2 years that were terrible. They were awful. They lost a lot of games. The Bucs were not awful.
But is that the conversation right now? Should we fire Todd Bowles? Because I thought we were past that.
And that's why I said it's like beating a dead horse, Pat. The conversation is, are watching these teams, in the Seahawks and the Patriots, do you believe the Bucs are further or closer? And my answer is, and it's an honest answer, and I think it's a fair answer, is they're further away because they've retained the same guy that has led them to mediocrity and this year not even the playoffs. So you can say that it's a conversation that's pointless because they've retained him. I'm answering your question. This is why they're far away. Todd Bowles.
Yeah. I don't think that's again, you may not be there next year. You may have to move on from your head coach, but I look at this roster as a team that is very close. I look at like a lot like when they brought Tom Brady in. Like, they had all the pieces to win, and they just got to get over the top. Now, they don't have all the pieces to win right now. They desperately need pass rushers, right? And if they get them, who knows? Maybe Todd Bowles looks very, very different next year. Like, we were having a lot of conversations about things he was doing better at the beginning of this year. Those things weren't untrue, right? Just because they ended up falling apart at the end of the year and he didn't have the answers for that, we've seen that before. From, like, you just mentioned San Francisco. They were an effing mess last year, right? And we could have put it all on Kyle Shanahan, but we were smart enough not to do that because he's shown success. He's earned that level of respect. Todd Bowles hasn't done that. So it's fair that Todd Bowles gets a lot of criticism. But at the same time, doesn't mean this team is ages away from winning.
Let's go to Mike in Tampa. Good morning, Mike.
What's going on, Goons?
What's up, man?
How are you?
Hey, I'm all right. Hey, you said that we fall away because of Todd Bowles. You think if we had Josh McDaniels instead of Lazard last year, we'll be the same distance away?
If we had Josh McDaniels,
which I don't think
Josh
instead of
McDaniels, New England offense coordinator instead of our offense coordinator last year.
Yes.
We'll still be the same distance away?
No, I think we're closer. No.
Okay,
no.
so then that proves that this is not Todd Bowles then.
No, it could be both.
But you said it's because of Todd Bowles. But now you're saying if we had Josh McDaniels instead of Grizzard, we'll be closer.
Yeah, we could be closer, but if Todd Bowles was gone and then you still had a better offensive coordinator than Grizzard, you'd be even closer, right? Like an offensive coordinator.
You don't know.
That's my opinion.
Okay, let me ask you this. If Todd Bowles was gone and we still had Grizzard, would we be closer? No.
It depends on who you brought in to help out the defense, but yeah, I mean, listen, Todd's supposed to be a defensive genius and a guru, and he was. We saw that 5 years ago. But when it comes to being a head coach and getting the defense right and taking on the head coaching responsibilities as well, hasn't been great at it. The defense has not been good. Last couple of years, it has not.